Hello everyone, I'm OUTLANDISHPIXEL, and yesterday was the 24th of January and Battlefleet Gothic Armada II dropped. Now, I did pre-order this. I do not recommend pre-ordering games, but every now and again, you know, we all become massive hypocrites and do things like that. I played the first game and I pre-ordered this because at the time I got a discount of like 20%, 25%, something like that. And that's why I did it at the time, because I knew I would probably like it. But I looked at like stores an hour before this came out, and you could still pre-order it and get 25% discount, even if you didn't own the first one on Steam. So, yeah, there's kind of a lesson, I guess. It's that pre-ordering doesn't need to be a thing. You can pre-order the day before. Like, you can wait for all the early kind of opinions, the early looks at the game to see how it's progressing, and then, like, last minute, you can decide, you know what, it still looks good, I'm going to pre-order, rather than do it months in advance, because you're going to lose out or something. So I recommend never pre-ordering games. I don't usually. I think I've pre-ordered games, like, 5 times in my entire life. I don't recommend it. It's only been extreme cases where I've absolutely known I would love a game or something like this has happened. But anyway, I'll stop rambling on. First game was good, I thought, in my opinion. I really liked Battlefleet Gothic in principle because of the tabletop. Just gonna go off on one for a second. Go to the options. I did have a look at the options earlier, and I'm a bit confused in the gameplay options by mission type and random. Domination and cruiser clash. I don't know why there's a mission type there. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means in the campaign every mission is random, or you can choose the type of game mode for each mission. I don't understand. Someone could clarify why this is in the options. That would be great. Going back. Yeah, the first game. I have to say, I have started the campaign already just to see what it was like. I did that when it was still in the beta. So I'm going to start a new one. Start from like the kind of prologue introduction to the game. It's similar to the first one, but it feels different in some ways. In a good way, I think. First game only had four races at the beginning, and then they added Space Marines and Tau. There's only one campaign, and it was the Imperium. But that was just basically Imperial ships. I don't think you ever got Space Marine ships in the campaign. I didn't finish the campaign, to be honest. It got a little bit boring. This is 3 campaigns: Imperium, Necron, and Tyranids. They do recommend that you play as the Imperium first, and I don't know if that's from a narrative perspective, because in here it says it's just best to learn the gameplay mechanics from the Imperium campaign. So we're gonna do that anyway, and we're gonna do it on medium, not easy. But first, I will actually do the prologue. I'll show you the prologue first. It is a big tutorial, but it has some cool little cutscenes and some other stuff in it. So yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. Performance-wise, seems pretty good. I won't talk over this. I mean, I am talking over it. Yeah, I'm going to talk over it. You know, if you're that bothered, you can play it yourself. But like, it is actually a sequel to the first one, so you do end up playing as the what's his name, Spire from the first one, if that matters to you. But it's like 800 years in the future or something like that. If you're really into Warhammer 40k lore, then I guess you'll know exactly what's going on now. It's the fall of Cadia, or whatever. I do like Warhammer. I like Warhammer 40k. I just don't. I'm not totally knowledgeable of not necessarily lore, but like timelines and how lore relates to that. Like, I don't know where the tabletop game is in its lore now. I know more about where Age of Sigmar is, because I think lore-wise I was more into the old times, or whatever. End times. End times! That's what it's called. Warhammer End Times. Demons! And lightning. Yeah. I did have Battlefleet Gothic, as in the original tabletop game, when I was a kid. I sold it on eBay recently, actually, when I was going through all my old models and whatever. And I just didn't have anyone to play with, so I never replayed it. But I had it, and I liked it. I liked the idea of playing it. So when like the first game came out, I thought it would be great to be able to play it finally, or some version of it, without having to buy models. First one was very slow at times. It depends how you play it, because it had this whole mechanic where you press spacebar and you went to slow motion, so you could think about things tactically, and you could just sit there with slow motion on for the whole of a match, and the match would then last bloody forever. Whereas if you didn't, it would last like a few minutes. So I'll not die without a fight. So it kind of like was a weird pacing, because the game allowed you to do it however you want. This version has the same thing. However, it's almost like the way they've designed it is to try and get you to not use it as much. People may totally disagree with me. Here we go. Right, so some basic tutorial stuff to begin with. So, it's just going to make me do camera stuff in a minute. Up here, here's your mini-map, and I think the maps are actually bigger, because I think the idea is you have more ships, bigger fleets than this, and it becomes a bit more, like, frantic. So I think the maps are slightly bigger. I think. Here we've got, you know, the options to entirely pause time, and then slow down, and then you could like speed it up, so you don't have to take ages to like travel across the whole of this area. Now, I feel like they've done that. I mean, like, that's in lots of tactical games. It's in like Total War, Warhammer, but I think they've done it so that you look at it less as a game mechanic for making orders in slow motion or pausing to make things easier for you. But even if you do that, you pause it, you get things done, and then you just like press play and just see things play out. I feel like they're doing it to try and keep the pace up. I know it kind of sounds weird, because now like you have the option to pause it, which you didn't have in the first one. You could just pause it, think for ages about how you're going to do things, and then just play it out, you know? I'll just crack on with this a bit. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Yep. What do you want me to do? Oh, focus on the asteroid. Sorry. Focus, focus, focus. Cool.
Spec sweep complete.
Yep. Now up. Double click on ship. And move over there.
By RUSS beard, what's taking so
right. So yeah, I feel like I've been playing it so far without really pausing it much, because I kind of like the way it looks. The pacing seems a bit nicer to me. A bit more like a bit more frantic. I mean, though, ironically though, you're gonna have more to deal with, more ships to deal with in this version. So maybe later on in the game, when I've got a massive fleet, I'll be pausing it more, who knows. Anyway, so, I mean, this tutorial, it's doing the basics right now, but it does ramp up pretty fast, which is quite nice. So, I'll just crack on with this. This is a minefield. Don't run into mines, that's a good tactic. Come on, there we go. Right, so we're going off to Blackstone Fortress to blow it up
Take us through,
for
Captain.
reasons. These tooltips, they disappear. I mean, like, there's a maximum amount you can have, but they don't really disappear, so I'll just get rid of them. Kind of annoying. That won't let me get rid of it. Waypoints. I assume waypoints is in the first one. I don't remember. So now we've got some enemy ships after us.
But grander prey awaits. We cannot waste time in fruitless battles.
Now, the great thing about the Imperium campaign in this is that means the entire Imperium. You can have fleets with Space Marine ships. Should I use their proper names now? I don't know. Space Marine is just easier to say. Adeptus Astaris. That's right, isn't it? I think so. That's Space Marines. Adeptus Mechanicus or Skitari, right? You get those, as well as Imperial Guard or Adeptus Militar. No. Adeptus Militarum. Is that what it is? I can't remember.
That explosion should clean our
Imperial Guard,
tails of these traitors.
basically.
Aye, my lord. Repositioning.
Boost away. Get out of here. Before all these blow up. See, it runs quite well. You know, I'm getting 60 out of it. It looks pretty. I think when you get up close to a ship, it still looks quite nice. So you look at the
If only we'd had the time to make
symbols
it
on the hull and stuff. Oh, and I missed the cool explosions. Explosions are pretty cool as well.
My lord, all specs show one traitor vessel survived the explosion.
What's going on
It
here?
has launched a disruption bomb.
Alright, all stop.
All sections.
All
prepare
stop.
for high energy
I mean, I think it stopped on its own anyway.
Get us clear of the detonation horizon and bring us about to engage that spineless car.
Yes, right. So, oh yeah, still high energy turn. And hopefully that won't send us into this. Right.
Ha!
Stop
So
that.
the traitor longs
Crack
for
on this
death.
way. Okay.
Bring us in close. I want to
So,
smell his fear.
I'll press space. Oh, hang on. I'll press space bar, and that. Oh, it's not doing it. So I can't actually pause time. Space bar seems to automatically default to slow motion, but it's not doing it now anyway.
Where we are needed.
But it doesn't matter. So the other big difference
Fire at will. I want them blooded.
I've
before we
seen
seek their throne.
so far, the biggest difference is all the options being at the bottom of the screen here. This is good because I feel like it feels less cluttered. Also, what I really like doing in this game is ramming a lot more than the last one. Ooh!
His shield falls.
So much
Let us
fun.
test the thickness of his hide.
Yeah, all the options are down here. And I don't know why, it just feels nicer, it's simpler. Although all this stuff covering the screen is annoying. Let's get rid of all that. And yeah, when I deselect a ship, it's like the screen is a lot clearer. It's quite nice. So it's got the similar kind of it's got all the most of the same buttons really from the last game. You know, you got your stances here. Space Marines only get these. Well, this ship only gets these three. There's a brace for impact, lock on, reload. There was another one for some Imperium ships. I can't remember. I think there is. So you have those. I feel like the
Repositioning.
all the hotkeys are a bit more obvious. And I'm more likely to use the hotkeys because of how they've laid it out here. I don't know, it just feels like nicer. Nicer to, more efficient to use. I mean, in reality, I feel like there are like minimal changes, really, to how it plays. But it feels different. Boarding torpedoes. These will lock on, so if I fire them here, they might like rotate around it for ages. We'll see. The angle might be right. I think the angle is going to be okay. Or not. Oh my god. Oh my god. They'll probably rotate forever.
Engines engaged.
By the time they reach you, I could have fired another one. To be fair, or I could do a boarding action. No, I'll have torpedoes again before boarding action is doable. Let's see if they hit them this time. Oh yeah, there we go.
Our boarding torpedoes destroyed by turret
So I'm
fire.
not sure how long the boarding
So the
torpedoes
traitor still has
last.
claws.
That's a
Bring
new
us in
feature, actually,
closer.
the
I'll end
torpedoes.
this myself.
I don't think Vorden Torpedo... I didn't really play the Space Marines much in the first one. I mean, I bought it, the expansion, but I never used them. So, I don't know if they were in it or not. Don't think they were.
Let the carcass drift. The greater quarry yet remains.
I'm not sure if there's been any changes to the way the squadrons work. So far, though, I definitely use them more.
Where we are needed.
I don't know if I didn't think you could do this in the first one. You could like, I'll show you in the next section, but you can select multiple ships, and you can use the same. If they have the same options, you can use them and in order. And you could assign groups and do it that way, and that feels fast. You know, rather than selecting individual ships. Oh, sorry, I got me to checkpoint. Too busy focusing on talking.
Most of you are not Fenris-born.
Let's rotate.
But today it matters
And
not
then
if you feel the fury of RUSS in your veins.
Let's just whack this on the way past, shall we? That was unnecessary. Whee! It's quite. I like the graininess of that explosion. I don't know. Feels good. I like the effects. I feel like the effects are actually quite simple and probably quite efficient on memory use or something. I don't know. They just seem. Don't know. The effects seem pretty good. There is a cutscene that's going to come up where it does test the frame rate a bit, which I don't really understand based on my setup, but it's a cool cutscene. Alright, so we can gain access to these hulks. That's what's going to teach us now.
We'll claim the vessel as our own.
So far through the campaign, this hasn't.
Engines engaged.
So far through the campaign, I've not been able to test this out yet to see if I can actually capture hulks. I don't know if there's missions where there are random hulks on a map and you've got to collect them. Not seen that yet. Let's do a high. How do you say it? High energy turn. That's it. And get 40 torpedoes over there. It's quite a nice smoke trail. I quite like it. Boom! Should have recovered the ship. Yes, I don't know if this is just a way of recovering your own vessels, or if there will be vessels you can claim throughout the campaign. Not got to that part yet.
It shall not go to waste.
So I'm gonna
evacuate the ship to Cadia.
Not scuttle it. I'm gonna disengage. Gonna warp out because this ship has heavy critical damage to its weaponry. So you can get out of here. Now I know that I need to get into this for the next part. So I'll just start that movement. Let's watch this go to the warp. Nice.
My lord, we have enemy vessels on approach.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I have to hide in there in a bit. We're going to destroy these first, apparently.
At your command.
Oh well, right.
Moving to position.
So yeah, another change. I think you could basically use your torpedoes indefinitely after a cooldown in the first game. In this one, your torpedoes and your assault, you know, your boarding action or your teleporting over, your lightning strike, you have a limited amount of those you can use in a match. Can I do that yet? Oh, I can do it on that ship. There we go. So drifting Hulk, nice. Focus on that one. Now your squadrons, again, you have a limited amount, but as long as they get back to your ship, then you retain them. If they get destroyed, then you know you lose them. Then let's get a Annihilator squadron out, which is the bomber, I believe. Send them over to there. That didn't actually work. Oh no, I can't actually use them yet. No. They're all grayed out. Tutorial, eh? I'll get to use them soon, though. You are not firing fast enough. I suppose I could fire a boarding torpedo out. Circle round, come back to you in time. Or, what I could do, a bit more fun, high energy turn. Don't know if I'll get this done in time. No, I'm not going to get it done. I'll have no boost. But let's go fast and do a close range broadside. That's always nice. Yeah, it's just nicer to watch the action play out in real time at the minute. That. It's pretty epic. Those boarding torpedoes. Still coming. Still coming. Boom. Fire aboard. Boarding action. Still on you. So, what are the things we got on here? I'll just let our ship sit there and destroy those. There we go. Right, so here we have details of the ship. This is a bit nicer. I think it just gets the information to you efficiently. Nicer to look at. You know, it's nice to have a kind of detailed HUD that, you know, goes all the way around the screen and kind of looks like it's Space Marine armor or whatever. But just having simple UI or buttons, I appreciate that as well. Right, now I have to get into... So, crack on, lad. So here we got information about shield and hull. I'm not sure what these dots here mean. That might be experience. It's not something I've come across yet. It might be experience. It gives you certain attributes it has here. These are your weapons. And also when you hover over these, it will show you its firing arc. There's my torpedoes. It's my bombardment cannon. Macro batteries. And it shows you where on the ship those modules are as well. I really like that. All these stats here, keep this nice and simple. So you know you're supposed to use your ship. You know, if it's got heavy armor. Space Marines have heavy armor, that's their thing. Yeah, I think this is good. I like this. Down here, we haven't got to this in the tutorial yet, so it's all grayed out. So I'll leave this for the minute. I'm going to take damage because I'm going into this asteroid field, but I will become stealthed. However, in the tutorial it doesn't really work. So if I do a full stop now... So this objective always fails. I don't really get it. So I'm going to... I can't tell them to cease fire or anything. It says wait for Lord Bloodhowl orders, right? I'm not touching anything. Usually, I fail this immediately, even if I'm stealthed. Well, I say usually, I've only done it once. But last time I did nothing, and it failed. I'm still waiting. Still waiting for orders. Waiting for orders. Waiting for orders. Any orders? Can I have some orders? Am I going to get any orders? I don't know. Yeah, down here, I mean, I could talk about them even though they're grayed out. So we got auto engagement. You know, they'll automatically target closest enemy. These are the angles. Depending on what type of weapons they have, you might want to focus on using that.
This is as close as we're likely to get. Boarding torpedoes, stand ready.
Boarding torpedoes.
So shall it be.
Good thing I've only got one left.
Command of the Fang is yours. Give her a good death. Aye, Lord. For RUSS. And the
For RUSS.
For RUSS.
For RUSS. Alright. Oh, boarding torpedoes. We'll fire them off here. They'll get around there eventually. I'm still stealth though. Oh, they're firing at my torpedoes. I was going to hit it. Maybe. Unless they get destroyed. I think they got destroyed. I'll use a lightning strike then. I'm still... Now I'm not stealth. Oh, I'm not in range. Alright. Let's Crack on. Oh yeah, speed.
Standard speed engaged.
Oh shit. Ramming speed!
Where we are needed.
Oh shit. Boo! Oh, I love it. There's a lot of things going on the screen right now.
Impossible.
Oh, I can't actually. I could do a...
Moving to position.
Yeah, I'll just get close enough again so I can actually do the objective. So I can't do a lightning strike because his shield's still up. If I can do a boarding action, I just need to get close enough. Or I can fire more boarding torpedoes, which I'll do that in the interim.
Moving to position.
Yes, so engagement angle, depending on what type of ship you're using, what weapons they've got. I want to do things differently. Do a boarding action. There we go. Do a bit more ramming. There is a lot of effects going on the screen right now. And my shield's down. And I have no HP left. But I'm pushing. I love it. Just pushing this chaos ship. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh well. Yeah, I'll come back to that panel when it reappears.
Sven Bloodhowl, stalwart of a
Some
brotherhood
story
found in
stuff
death.
going on.
But sometimes courage is not enough.
I mean, I might do a series on my channel. I might, yeah, once the Imperium campaign actually starts, I might do it, and I won't talk over cutscenes then.
Insufficient power. Rerouting.
But, you know, I mean, it's pretty simple, you know. Chaos ships coming through the Eye of Terror, attack Acadia. Acadia's the last bastion, last defense, line of defense against the Chaos Hordes. Sorry, it's not the last line of defense, it's the first. If it was the last line of defense, we'd be fucked.
Processing.
No, it's the first line of defense, it's the first. It's a great vacation destination, I believe. Very cheap, very cheap. Let's get this shield up. Get this shield up. Come on. Oh no!
Acadia earned
You know,
not through the bravery
you should have
of
probably
Bloodhowl, nor the labours
put
of
that
Magus
part of the
Clan,
shield up first. You know the
through
part where the
intercession
Blackstone Fortress
of a
was going to shoot?
mysterious benefactor.
Get that part of the shield up first, then do the back of the planet. Don't do the entire planet apart from a little hole. And look, all these Chaos ships getting through.
Blackened the skies. The siege of
Can you
Cadian
imagine living
Citadel
on this planet?
began.
Can you imagine being here at this point?
The forces of the despoiler came in numbers.
I don't know what'd be worse, having demons, literal demons,
Even in that
arrive on your
darkest of
planet,
days, the flame of
or
humanity's valor burned
Tyranids.
with faith
Tyranids
burning in their
consuming
hearts,
you.
the
I don't know.
defenders
What's
held
worse?
the Chaos Hordes at bay,
It's all pretty
uncaring
shit,
of the
innit?
losses they bore in exchange.
I mean, why has this demon got a big axe? He could have a huge... If I was a demon, I'd like, give me the biggest gun you've
With
got.
every bloody moment,
I want the
Abaddon's
biggest,
forces drew closer to
craziest
victory.
plasma gun or melter or whatever. Whatever the biggest energy weapon is or the biggest rocket launcher, just give me that.